Can start to overwhelm them if there is too much of it growing in there, though. But this Spanish moss can be used as floral decoration inside homes, stuff like that. I do believe Henry Ford did try and use a couple of his first automobiles as cushioning for the seats until he found out it contains a parasite, so that didn't last very long for him. That parasite is a chigger. It's a little red bug. It'll make you itch very much if you get it on you. Take a look down beside the bus, see the trees with the fan-like leaves along the ground. Those are our saw palmettos. The saw palmettos produce a berry which is harvested and turned into oil.
Wait,
that oil is sold in pharmacies and capsules and such. I believe it's for prostate. The bees pollinate the saw palm berries, and that's how we get our saw palm honey, one of our 4 types of honey we have out here. We do have a couple live oak trees over here to the right side of the bus. The live oaks, they do not grow very straight and tall. They tend to branch out, have a mind of their own. And on the opposite side of the bus, we do have 3 species of the pine tree. We have the yellow pine, the longleaf pine, and a few loblolly pines. And last, if you all take a look at the vines kind of growing on top of everything around us, that is a combination of our wild muscadine grapes and our wild blackberries. They're both edible, very good to eat, yet you do have to beat the birds and the rest of the forest critters to them to enjoy them. You also have to watch out for the thorns on the blackberries. They will tear you up pretty good. So earlier this year we planted about 5 acres of thornless blackberries, about 10 acres of blueberries. They'll all be ready to pick about May, June time. While we're sitting here, I'll tell you guys about some of our animals that we have here in Florida. Our game species are the white-tailed deer, the Osceola turkey, and the wild boar, the pig. Yet our white-tailed deer is quite a bit smaller than other parts of the country. You guys probably just laugh at it if it walked out in front of you down here. It's almost like a big dog. As for other animals here in our woods in Florida, we do have the black bear. We have bobcats, coyotes, foxes, possums, raccoons, armadillos, rabbits, gray squirrels, fox squirrels, otters, the Florida panther. There's all kinds of birds. We have the bald eagle, quail, dove, pigeons, ospreys, red-tailed hawks, bats, owls, cardinals, crows, blue jays, pelicans, and seagulls along the coastlines. And we do have quite a few snakes as well. 3 poisonous snakes, though, in particular, I'll tell you guys about you need to watch out for while you're out here today. We have the eastern diamondback rattlesnake. We have the water moccasin, also called the cottonmouth, because when he opens his mouth, it's all white on the inside. They are normally found in or around the water, and they can be aggressive. They will come after you. And we also have the coral snake. The coral snake is similar in color to the king snake, but don't get the 2 confused, because the coral snake can kill you. And watch out on the warmer days. Snakes are more active. Last summer, we killed about 5 snakes up there by our store. 2 rattlesnakes and 3 water moccasins. One of the rattlesnakes is about 5.5 feet long, so please watch your step. And if that's not enough to scare you all out of our woods, we have plenty of fleas, ticks, chiggers, mosquitoes, spiders, and centipedes. So I'm sure you all do those. You guys have any questions for me yet? No?
They had the mounds of whatever when people were working. What is that?
Blueberries. That's all of our blueberries.
What's the soil or whatever they're using?
That's just mulch. What they'll do is they'll plant it in the mulch, helps keep the weeds, everything like that out of it. There's more, where you guys parked, if you parked up front, there's that lake up front. On the other side of the lake, you'll see more of those white poles. Those are blueberries we planted at the end of last year. They're, today I think they're actually planting the actual blueberries in the ground. So they just finished running all the irrigation, planting the mulch, all that stuff. So.
What do you do with the cattle?
Strictly for beef.
Just beef? When do you sell, like when do you market them? Do you know that? No?
I have no idea. There's it's like I said, it's a family-owned ranch. One of the brothers has the showcase of citrus up there, and the other one has the cattle. The one with the cattle, we don't know. There's some days we come out here on our tour and we don't see the cows at all. They could be being branded, being sent to the market, whatever. So that's why I also can't promise that they'll be back here. You have a question?
What are your gator laws?
Gator laws?
Yeah, like hunting or...
They are illegal to hunt unless you have a permit for it, for not a commercial license, but for a personal license. For a resident of Florida, it's $250 per tag. Normally you get 2 tags a year, and it's a lottery to get those tags. You put your name in, and it's a drawing to see if you can even hunt them. And then when you do get that lottery, they tell you what section or what lake you can hunt out of. And normally it's from an hour before sundown to an hour after sunup, so you hunt all night long.
So if you have one in your back pond and you live around here, you just live
Call
with it?
FWC, Florida Wildlife Commission, and they'll send out a trapper to come move it for you.
Oh, okay. And then they just relocate them?
Yeah, normally they'll relocate them, unless they've fit an article of, you know, like a limb or something like that off, and then they have to kill it and open it up and all that stuff. Yeah.
What about your pastures? Like when we're driving around, we notice that it doesn't look like there's much pastures left. Is it a dormant time now? Like
it's because it's like our winter season. This is like our dry time of the year. That is why we have our hay rolls. You'll see when we get back here, there's a ton of open property, but during our very dry times of the year, it's almost like there's no grass out here for the cows to graze on. So that's why we have our hay rolls. On the other side of our swimming area, there's that big barn. That's our hay barn. We keep extra hay in there too for our
So
cows.
how many months out of a year are you feeding? Or do they feed 3 months?
Like with the hay?
Yeah.
It all depends. Some years we don't give them any hay. Some years it's wet enough out here that we don't have to give them any hay. We'll just sell the hay. But there's other times where it's very dry, like an extra dry year, and we have to give them a ton of hay. So it all depends.
And with your back of the